My name is Emily Carter, and I want to share with you a story that began in the most ordinary way yet turned into one of the most eye-opening lessons of my life. It all started when my best friend, Karen, asked me if her 18-year-old son, Daniel, could stay with me for a few weeks while she traveled for work. Karen and I had known each other since college, so it felt only natural to help out. I lived alone in a quiet suburban neighborhood in Ohio, and having Daniel around seemed like it would be no trouble at all. At first, everything was easy and routine. Daniel was polite, reserved, and often spent time reading or sketching in his room. I noticed he was a little shy but thoughtful, always offering to help me with groceries, opening doors, and thanking me for meals. He seemed mature for his age, yet I could also sense a certain loneliness in him. One Saturday afternoon, I was cleaning the house and walked past the guest room where Daniel was staying. The door was slightly open, and I heard a sound that made me pause. I peeked inside and saw him sitting on the floor surrounded by sketchbooks, lost in drawing. His concentration was so deep that he didn't even notice I was standing there. I stepped inside gently, not wanting to startle him. "Daniel, these are amazing," I said softly, picking up one of the drawings. He looked up, embarrassed, and tried to hide his work. "They're just practice," he muttered. But I knew talent when I saw it. His sketches weren't just good, they carried emotion, detail, and a raw honesty that was rare for someone so young. He had drawn landscapes, portraits, and even moments from his own imagination. One picture showed a woman standing in a garden, her face peaceful but her eyes filled with longing. That was the moment everything shifted. I realized that Daniel wasn't just Karen's quiet son, he was an artist searching for someone to recognize his gift. And somehow, I had stumbled into his hidden world. Over the next days, we began talking more. He told me about how he often felt invisible, even in his own home. His father wasn't around, and while his mom loved him deeply, she was always busy with work. Drawing became his escape, his way of making sense of the world. I listened, encouraged him, and even bought him new sketching pencils and paper. For the first time, I saw a spark in his eyes, a light that came from being seen, truly seen. One evening, while we were having dinner, Daniel finally said, "Emily, no one has ever cared about my drawings like you do. You make me feel like I matter." That simple statement touched me deeply. It reminded me of how important it is to make others feel valued. Weeks went by, and our bond grew stronger, not in any inappropriate way, but in a human, genuine connection. I became like a mentor, someone who believed in his dreams. And in return, Daniel reminded me that sometimes, the smallest gestures of kindness can mean the most. When Karen returned from her trip, she was surprised to see her son happier and more confident than before. He showed her his portfolio, and for the first time, she truly realized the depth of his talent. She hugged me with tears in her eyes and whispered, "Thank you, Emily. You gave him something I couldn't." That night, after they left, I sat quietly in my living room, reflecting. What started as an ordinary favor turned into a life-changing lesson. I had caught Daniel in his room that day, but instead of judging or ignoring, I chose to step into his world. And because of that, his future looked a little brighter. Life often gives us unexpected opportunities to make a difference. Sometimes, all it takes is a moment of curiosity, a word of encouragement, and the willingness to truly see someone for who they are. And that's what I learned from this story. Kindness, no matter how small, can change the course of someone's life.